YouTube land, Tech on this here doing another action figure review. Now before I proceed, I just want to say if you hear me coughing in the background, it's because I'm trying to get over a cold at the moment, or some sort of bug thing that I've had for a couple of days, well, nearly a week or so. So I have a bit of a chesty cough at the moment, still residing from it. But what we're having a look at today is the new for 2025 Jazzwares World of Stranger Things scale Demogorgon. Now I believe it's similar to their World of Halo stuff. I believe that is Jazzwares that did the World of Halo line. So these are scale for 4 inches or 3 1/4 inch, thereabouts, 1/18 scale. And we're having a look at the Demogorgon. So there's not too much in the line of accessories with the Demogorgon when we get into it, but we'll have a quick look at the box. So you can see it has name, it has Hunt and Battle on the front here. Just has the Stranger Things logo on the side. Again, Stranger Things logo on the top. And you have a image of the cast as they look now. So this is the cast as of 2025. So you have Mike, 11. Oh, I'm trying to remember everyone's names. Justin, Will, and is it Luke? Lucas? I think it's Lucas. You have all them on the front. I will say there is 2 different scales so far that I've seen, but I think there's 3 scales in total. So also available is Dustin and 11. Did I say call him Justin or Dustin? Well, I think I call him Justin, but it's Dustin. So there is a couple of sets for this scale, I believe. So there's also a Steve with a what looks like a news van set, which is coming out at some point. Now I picked this up over here in Ireland from Smith's. The weird thing is the smaller figures aren't in store as of yet. They're only available on the Smith's website online, whereas the larger figures, the 6-inch scale figures, are actually available in store. So in the 6-inch figure lineup you have 11 and Dustin. And I will say the likeness on some of the characters looks pretty bad. It is weird to me to see that the single carded version of 11 has a mask on. There's no alternate head. And I don't think this is removable. I think it's part of the head sculpt, where there is a 2-pack with Hopper and 11 where she doesn't have the mask on. And then the other figure or other set, there's a play set coming out as well, which has, I think it's like a TV station playset or radio station playset, something along those lines. It comes with, oh, what's her name? She was the one that was in the sailor outfit for the ice cream place, and I can't remember her name in the 3rd season, I believe. She came in season 3 or season 4, and she was the one that was with with Steve in the ice cream shop, and her name is completely out of my head. There is that figure. She comes with that TV station playset. It's kind of has 2 layers. It has the TV station up above, and then has like the upside down kind of side on underneath, and it's like layered, which is kind of cool. But we're getting off track. This is a review for the Demogorgon, so bear with me a moment. I'm going to set up my camera to have a more closer look at the Demogorgon. We'll get right into it. So here is the Demogorgon in all its glory. Now I should point out that the head that it has on is actually the alternate head that's in the package. The head that it comes with as a default is the kind of open mouth or open flower style head, but I have it swapped out at the moment. So we'll bring in tape measure for scale. So you can see it does stand around 4 inches. I'm not sure if I have the legs fully extended, because it does have a very kind of chicken leg kind of pose. So if I brought these legs all the way to the stretched out, you can angle the head up as well, but it just doesn't look natural. Well, then again, the creature itself doesn't look natural, but we'll get into that in a second. So I think that's as far out you can stretch the legs. Let's see if it increases the height on it at all. I think it's still around, yeah, it doesn't really increase the height that much. It is still around 4 inches. But what I mean by the legs is it looks kind of like it's designed to be in this kind of more crouched chicken leg pose, or chicken design, or whatever way you want to call it. There is quite a lot of articulation. So we will get into that. Now, I am a little annoyed with myself more than anything else that I actually have the previous kind of 4-inch scale figures for the Demogorgon, which are the ones that Funko put out. I'll do a size comparison in a minute of some of the figures from that line, but there was 2 versions of the Demogorgon. Actually, I think there was 3 versions of the Demogorgon, but there was 2 kind of standard ones. One being the open mouth version and one being a closed mouth version. They were done in the kind of reaction line, but they were kind of almost like a reaction plus kind of design, because they weren't just basic 5 points of articulation. They actually had joints in it, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute when I get into the comparison, or showcasing some of the figures with this thing. So for articulation on this guy, the head is on a ball joint. It has good range of movement. In fact, if I swap it out, I'm going to do it off screen, you can hear the pop. You see it's just on a ball joint, and I'll pop this back on. This is the one that comes as a default. I think it is designed that you can almost put this thing into all fours. So I'm feeling it kind of does an all 4 crawl in this show. I can't remember if it did it in the first season, but if they're coming back with these creatures for, like, I think they've been in a couple of the seasons so far, or there's been variations of it. It does give me an indication that it's kind of designed that you can put into an all 4 crouching kind of position. So that's why the hinge on the head is quite good. There isn't really side to side, but it is a ball joint. You have a full rotation. Now, there's nothing in the waist or in the main body, but it's where the arms and legs are, is where you get a lot of good articulation. So arms can T-pose out that much. You have a single jointed elbow with a swivel. You have a wrist rotation and hinge, so you have some really good rotation on that. You have ball socket hips, so you don't exactly have a thigh swivel, but you get a little bit of bend on that from the ball socket. You have this, again, single jointed knee. You don't have a double knee joint, so you don't have the secondary knee with a joint, so it just has the upper one, but you get rotation on that. And then you have a ankle rotation and rocker on the feet. Now, there's only one peg hole. So far, it doesn't come with a base or a stand or anything like that in the packaging. Let's have a quick look at how you can get that to zoom in on the head sculpt. So you can see the head sculpt. So you can see that kind of open mouth head sculpt, which is pretty cool. And I will try and get him to stand up. He does have a little bit of problem standing on his own every so often, but he does stand for the most part, as I just try and focus back up on him. So he is pretty cool. So what I'm on about with the reaction line figures, so when the first, I know I've been saying so a lot, when the first series came out, they did a series of figures. I believe it was when the first season came out. So is this Will or Mike? This is Mike, because it's Will is the kid that goes missing in the first one. And here is Will. There was 2 versions of Will, if I remember correctly. There was a normal version of Will. In fact, they did some single card releases for these as well, but I got the multi-pack box ones that came with, like, I think it was like 2 of the kids, and it was either 3 kids and one of the Demogorgons in its various forms. And then here is Dustin. So you can see these are designed from season 1, when they were first introduced us to the characters of these kids. And you can see there's Will, Dustin and Mike. I do have 11 and Lucas, but unfortunately I can't find where I put them at the moment. But they did the whole kind of main cast of the kids. They never did, at least as far as I'm aware, they didn't do a Hopper or Joyce or any of the kind of older teens. They only did the kind of main main kids, and then they had the Demogorgon, which is kind of cool. Similar to what they did with the Stephen King 2017 It figures. So these figures have more articulation than a basic. It's still kind of basic, and it still has that kind of, you know, retro look to it, the kind of 70s kind of Star Wars look. So they are kind of, you know, limited in their design or sculpting, but they had more articulation than a basic, one of the basic retro reaction figures. So if I should have a reaction figure here somewhere. I do have the Gift Yankee. So this is one of the more modern Super 7 reaction figures, just to give you an idea of what I'm on about. For those who may not be familiar with reaction, most of the reaction lines are like this. They just have either a head swivel, arms and legs. They don't have elbow joints or knee joints, where and the heads are generally on a swivel as opposed to a ball joint. There's a few exceptions to the rule, but they kind of went a bit out on some lines. So Funko did a short run of different lines that had this style of articulation, and I picked up, I think, nearly everything from it. The only ones I think I'm missing was the, not sure if the Jaws line they did had the extra articulation for the main figures, but there was the Stranger Things line, Stranger Things, the Stephen King's It, the 2017 version. It they didn't do anything for the original Tim Curry TV series version, and then they also did excuse me, the other two lines that I can think of off the top of my head is they did a, oh, what's that series called? It's the well, they did Married with Children anyway, because I have that set. Came with Al, Peg, and the two kids, which is a great set. Unfortunately, it didn't come with the dog. It would have been cool if it came with the dog as well. At least to my memory, it didn't come with the dog. And then the other one is Twin Peaks. They did a Twin Peaks set. Sorry, I was having a main brain fart, but they did a Twin Peaks set with all this extra articulation on it. Now, they are pretty good, but they are kind of like, compared to stuff like, you know, these kind of, the Jurassic World figures, they kind of fit in a bit with the Spin Masters Batman stuff because they're a bit more cartoony. But anything that has more realistic vibe to it, they kind of don't work too well. So, but like, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure they will release figures based on the new iteration of the characters for this line for the for Stranger Things, as in, like, I don't know if they'll go back and do the older, like the younger versions of all the characters throughout the years of the film or the TV series coming out. It would be nice to see Chief Hopper back when he was police chief, because that was a cool look for David Harbour, and it was reminiscent of, it was actually the whole reason why he was Chief Hopper was because it was kind of a nod to Chief Brody from Jaws. That was kind of what the Hopper brothers, is that the name of the guys that do the Duffer Brothers? Yeah, that's what the Duffer Brothers were kind of aiming him off. So he had that kind of vibe going on, and same with the other characters. They were all kind of slight homages to other kind of characters and stuff like that. But the guy we're here to see is the Demogorgon, and it is a really cool figure. If I do find where I put my sudden reaction versions, because I know I have both of them, I have two of them somewhere, I've photographed them a few times, but off the top of my head I can't remember where I put them. If I do find them, I will do a quick update video and just do a showcase of this new one with him. But I will say that the older ones have kind of more this articulation, where it didn't have anything in the wrist. Actually, I think it might have had wrist articulation, but only it was a hinge with no swivel. And then I think the legs were pretty much static. There might have been one joint in the knee. Other than that, I don't think there was anything else on it. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick video review for the Stranger Things, or the World of Stranger Things. Is it World of Stranger Things? Is that what it was called? World of Stranger Things scale. Jazzwares, Demogorgon, and as I get more figures, I hope to do more reviews going on for this line. So as always, hope you enjoy this video. Hope you find it interesting, and the information contained within interesting. And as always, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button to help grow my channel. The more likes I get, the more channel growth I get, and I do appreciate it. And as always, I hope you enjoyed watching this video from wherever you are in the planet. So thanks for watching, and have a good day. Cheers.